This episode of Good Morning Wilmington is brought to you by DART, Delaware's public transit service, moving you forward.
Good morning, Delaware, and happy Labor Day. You're watching DETV's Good Morning Wilmington. Hey guys, happy Monday.
Happy Labor Day.
Yes,
yeah.
How we doing?
I'm off today.
I know, me too. I mean, we're here doing this.
Here
but
doing this, but I have to go to work after this.
That's
I'm good.
right.
I'm
Any
good.
plans for today?
Other than mourning the end of summer?
Kicking my feet up. Kicking
Yeah.
my feet up.
Yeah.
That's
You
what
just
I'm
gonna
do.
kick back
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna
relax
kick
on
back
Labor Day?
On Labor Day.
I
That's what I
like
know.
that.
It's kind of bad.
I like
I
it.
might go to the Labor Day parade. I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see.
I'm trying to get me some good food.
That would work
See,
too.
Who's cooking out? Let me
Anyone
know.
got a picnic?
Let me know.
I am.
Oh, you are?
I
Oh.
Okay. Oh, and look,
my mom.
I can come to yours because you're going to have, you got some black bean burgers and all that good stuff.
I do.
Put it on the grill for me, a little barbecue
vegetarian,
sauce.
vegan stuff. Yeah, I got you.
I'll bring
there.
some deviled
I'm
eggs.
there.
You won't bring some deviled
I'll bring
eggs?
some
I don't eat cold eggs, but
Okay.
I
I'll
do
bring
it.
that.
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
It was great.
Mhm.
I had to mix it up, do some errands.
Mhm.
You know, just I enjoyed the weekend. I enjoy every day that I'm above ground.
That's
so
good.
I'm
That's
grateful.
That's good. I say that to everybody.
I'm very excited that I'm here. It's Monday.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I know we have survived Ida.
Yes.
Unfortunately, not everyone, and much prayers to everyone that's out there, especially
Mhm.
in my neck of the woods over in
Yeah.
the east side. I don't know if you guys saw, but remnants of Ida definitely made up the coast. It led from severe flooding all up and down the coast.
She
We've
wreaked
seen the
havoc.
work. She came
She
in
wreaked havoc.
like a savage, and
Yeah.
I'm praying for everyone that is
Mhm.
struggling right now.
Absolutely.
It is not good. From
Indeed.
East Side, Riverside, and the 11th Street Bridge, they
Mhm.
saw the worst of the flood. I saw trash cans floating. I saw
Someone saw
Yeah.
a fridge
yeah.
Yeah.
floating down
Yeah.
like
Crazy.
the Brandywine.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But then it was even worse because so many families are, their homes are damaged.
Yep.
Some folks didn't
Cars
even
are
get a chance to, get some of their stuff.
Yeah.
It just
You know
really
what I
sucks.
wonder? So we just had Brandywine Zoo on last week.
Mhm.
They're right down there.
Right.
The Brandywine. I wonder
Right
if
now
they were
they're doing-
affected. Yeah.
Well, I saw some of the video footage. I don't think it got to the actual zoo.
I know it
but
got to the fountain,
it
but I'm
did.
not sure if it made it up to the zoo.
I don't think it made it that far up,
'Cause
but
they just did construction for
Mhm.
the Madagascar Center.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
yeah. And with
Wow.
everything that's going on with us advocating for the infrastructure bill, to me, this is more reason we need to start
Yes.
leveling
Yes.
our streets.
Yeah.
Raising up these homes because I was thinking about Al Gore. I was like, I can only imagine climate's real.
Well,
yeah.
Climate change
Yeah.
is
And it's
real.
funny that you mentioned that because I was thinking like the same thing. I'm like, in all of my years, born and raised Delawarean,
Mhm.
living here, I'm like, I don't recall ever seeing anything like this.
This was really
Mhm.
bad.
This was
Yeah.
It was really
bad.
bad. And then, so, the side of town that I live on, I couldn't help but to go over behind Trolley Square to see if it was affected.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah.
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 no. It ended up being, those who live in the marginalized areas.
Right. Yeah.
Which is sad. That hurts my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about it last show when certain buildings have built up, we're
Mhm.
able, for the sake of economic,
Mhm.
build up roses.
Yes.
Roses.
Roads.
Roads.
Yes. I know what
Just
you
the
mean.
roses. Roses. But we're able to build up roads to help sustain businesses. We
Mhm.
should be able to do the same in neighborhoods.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
it's sad.
Especially
And then,
those sensitive to, in those flood zones.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Agreed.
Hurricane Ida definitely played a huge role when it came to our animals too. Brandywine Valley
Mhm.
SPCA airlifted over 100 animals.
Yeah,
Wow.
from I think Louisiana, right?
Yeah.
Down that where
Yes.
it hit the hardest. Yeah,
Yeah.
they brought they airlifted them up.
Yeah. That I mean, that was good, but jeez.
I can't go near it.
Alright.
Because I will adopt like 10 dogs.
Yeah.
I will do
Yeah,
it.
I'm,
So
I'm, I'm
I
a
am-
sucker for
I'm
a
a
pet.
sucker for
Yeah,
a
a
dog.
little dog just looking
Yeah.
at me, I'm just like, come
Yeah.
on.
My house will be flooded with animals.
Yeah.
I think about the
Yeah.
responsibility because my kid wants one, but
Ooh.
she's like, please, I will, and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I know how that goes.
I got a
Yeah.
German Shepherd, and everyone in my neighborhood's just like, so when are you breeding? I'm like, I don't know.
Wow.
I ain't ready for all that hair.
Ooh,
It's
wow.
bad enough dealing with one.
No,
I think
no,
that's
no.
really awesome that the SPCA did airlift off animals.
Mhm.
a lot of times people don't really know, like they don't have a plan in place.
Yeah.
If there's
Yeah.
an emergency like this, and this was, I believe Governor Carney, he did announce that this was a state of emergency.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this was a really big deal. Again, it was major. I've never seen anything like this
Mhm.
in all my years of living in Delaware. But like if there is an emergency, I do think that families should have conversation
Mhm.
to understand what to do. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
William Hicks Anderson Center
Right, and the
is
PAL
a
Center.
shelter, and the
Yeah.
PAL on
Yeah.
Market Street,
Yeah.
Wilmington Police Athletic League on Market Street. Those are both shelters that you could go to,
Mhm.
but you have to understand where to go. So
Right.
if there is an emergency, you have
Yeah,
an
and we didn't get to
evacuation
cover
plan.
it, but for all those that are watching, if you want to donate, you can DETV. We're taking donations as well.
Definitely.
So
Doing
There are a
that
lot
in
of people who
partnership.
need. There are a
Yeah.
lot of people who are affected, don't have, and again, we're already dealing with that marginalized area of
Mhm.
East Side, Riverside. Like it's so there are a lot of people who need. Where is it that they can donate?
So they can donate. They can definitely donate here to DETV, or you can visit the Salvation Army, which
Mhm.
is give.salvationarmy.org.
Yeah.
So be sure to visit that website as well.
Yeah.
And you can also give by visiting 1-800 Red Cross.
Mhm.
You can donate there, or text IDA at 90999.
Mhm.
So, and make a donation of at least $10. If it's
Yeah.
$5, I'm gonna make sure I donate.
Yeah. And the Wilmington residents who are in need of assistance,
Mhm.
please
Yeah.
dial 311.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Please
Yeah.
dial 311.
Yeah. This has been tough. This has been very
It
tough.
has been.
Yeah.
So, Labor Day weekend is not going to be as fun because I'm finding myself walking in certain neighborhoods, just helping out as best as I can.
That's good.
So, yeah.
That's very
Yeah,
responsible.
listen, it's home. Don't claim someplace to be home.
I
and not
heard that. Yes,
take
indeed.
care of it. So.
Yep.
That is true.
And speaking of homes, everyone's getting ready to go back to school,
Mhm.
right? So I had to,
That
or
started.
they've started. Not even go back. We've started. Right?
Yes,
I
started.
forgot. Remember when
I'm in like week
school,
2.
Remember when school used to start after Labor Day?
I do.
Yeah, I remember
I
that.
do.
I'll never get that random change.
Yeah.
So I get the treat of sitting down with Jose Mathews.
Oh,
Yeah, you
nice. From
do.
Red Clay,
Red
right?
Clay School Board
Yeah, you
member. So
do.
I'm going to
Okay.
hear from him about the different issues when it comes to COVID and how parents are going to deal with this. So
Mhm.
I'm excited about that. So let's go. I'm going to go check out Jose Mathews.
We're doing a lot of talking here in Washington in the Senate about infrastructure. What's that really mean? Well, if we move forward on the bipartisan infrastructure plan that I'm supporting, that's going to mean millions more dollars for Delaware and Delawareans to improve Amtrak and SEPTA, to improve our roads and bridges up and down the state, to make sure we've got better access to broadband so that your cell phone calls don't drop as you drive up and down the state, so that kids can get access to Wi-Fi for school, and we can take advantage of telemedicine. I'm excited about a $580 billion new proposal for infrastructure for this country, but more than anything, I'm interested about how this will create good, high-paying jobs in Delaware and make our state easier to live in, more equitable and just, and more accessible in this digital age. For more information, go to my website, coons.senate.gov. Thanks.
And we're back. For all those that are getting ready to go back into school, parents getting your kids together, we're in for a treat. We have with us Jose Mathews, Red Clay School Board member. How are you, Jose?
I'm doing great. Thank you
Good
so much
to
for
see you,
having
my
me.
friend.
Good to see
It's been
you.
a minute.
It
Like, I
has
haven't
been a
seen
long
you since
time.
Pre-COVID.
I know.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to be back in person
Yeah.
and to start doing things in person. So I was just excited to be able to get out of the house.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to have you here.
Thank you,
now,
Jordan.
Now, help me understand, how long have you been serving on the Red Clay School Board?
So I'm in my 3rd year of my 5-year term.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, that's interesting because it's my understanding that the General Assembly just changed the term limits for Red Clay School Board members, correct?
They did. So it was actually for school board members across the state.
Oh, okay.
So
not just Red Clay.
So not just Red Clay.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So they ended up reevaluating the number of years that board members should be serving. And the decision was to reduce the term from a 5-year term to a 4-year term.
Okay.
So we recently just had a school board election back this past spring in May.
Gotcha.
And there was incredible voter turnout. I'm really hoping to continue that level of engagement moving forward. And I think people are really starting to notice and realizing how important our school boards are, and the members who serve on our school boards,
Yeah.
how important they are in all the decision-making capacities that they have.
Well, I have attended quite a few of your guys' board meetings.
Yes.
I love watching you and Dr. Bohm.
Yes,
Ashley
Dr.
Sabo.
Bohm's incredible.
It's a great, I would it's a diverse board. What got you to get involved with Red Clay School Board?
Yeah, and I love that you pointed out the point of diversity,
Right.
and that's something that has been that makes our board so unique. I am one of 2 Hispanic board members in this state. I have a colleague down in the Milford School District, Ronnie Baltazar Lopez, who serves down there. And so we have such a great opportunity here in Red Clay to have a diverse group of people on our board. And really, I think it helps us be well-rounded. I think it's really set us apart and has made us really unique in that perspective. So it's really, that's one big thing that I wanted to contribute, is adding to that level of diversity, but also advocating for our students. And making sure that we had a voice at the table, and making sure that Hispanics had a voice at the table as we enter Hispanic Heritage Month starting September 15th. It is certainly my mission to making sure that all of our students feel represented, all of our families feel represented and included in our public institutions.
You know, and I love that you speak such highly on diversity. That's why I got involved with helping Lillian Oliver when she ran for school board. Now, you guys have had quite a plethora of items on the agenda.
Yes.
Funny, a little plug to the agenda. We have a show on DETV, the agenda with Kerwin. You guys have spoken about quite a few referendums that have come up. You care to speak to some of, like, say, the necessities that's coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the committees that I actually sit on is the Facilities Committee.
Okay.
And I am serving in my 2nd year on the Facilities Committee, which has been such an incredible opportunity. Over the past year, we've done a year-long facilities assessment, really meaning that we've engaged with architects and experts, looking at our buildings, looking at our infrastructure, where our children are going to school every day. Now more so now that we're back in person, now that we're operating in person. And I think that COVID has really highlighted the fact that we need to make sure that we have appropriate settings for our students. And so through that plan, we did a public workshop for the community to kind of look at what our findings were. And so we ended up finding $500 million in deferred maintenance.
Wow.
Now, I know that sounds...
$500 million. That's a lot of money.
And I know that sounds like a lot, but you have to realize Red Clay is the largest school district in the state.
Right.
And we run 32 schools and programs.
Wow.
So really winding that down, it was anticipated, and it's time. I previously sat on our Community Finance Review Committee, which we like to call CFRC.
Okay.
And on that committee, it's led by Jill Flore, our CFO for the district. And I'd like to think that Red Clay has been extremely cautious and has used our tax dollars in a way that I've been so blown away with and so impressed by. I don't know another finance person who knows how to stretch a dollar more than Jill Flore. And that committee does incredible work and has community representation. So it's been quite some time that we've passed a referendum and have gone out for referendum or needed one. So now we're in the process that at our last meeting back in August, we unanimously passed this year-long facilities assessment and are going to be submitting this to the state for a certificate of necessity.
Wow.
So we are waiting to hear back from the state, and based on the response we receive and based on the certificate of necessity, the process then moves forward from there for potential consideration of a referendum.
Now, there's 32 schools, you said, in Red Clay
And
School.
programs.
And
So
programs,
yeah,
right?
and programs.
And programs. Now, you being a school board member,
Yes.
what can parents do to help with such a task like that?
Sure, absolutely. I think showing up to our school board meetings, asking questions, being engaged. Our school board loves to hear from parents and people and stakeholders in the community. So making sure that you know who your school board members are, making sure that you reach out to them, and spread the word. I think that people can really help by spreading the message of the great programs and the great programming that we have at our district.
That's awesome. Now, help me understand also, I would love to hear from you because there's still some parents right now.
Yes.
With children
Yes.
that are still a little concerned
Sure.
to be going into school with this Delta variant. How are you feeling as a school board member knowing that school has already started,
Yeah.
actually, not just getting ready to go back? But how are you feeling with having so many kids back in school with all this?
Yeah, so this week we are wrapping up our first week K through 12, we are fully back in person. We do have some accommodations that we're providing for parents. So we have roughly 250 children enrolled in our online platform. So for those who have qualifying medical conditions, we at Red Clay want to make sure that we're accommodating those students and families as much as possible. But in the grand scheme of things, I think that what we've seen, being that only 250 students out of the thousands of students we serve, I think there's really, that speaks volumes in terms of, our families and students. They want to be back, and we've received such positive feedback from the community, on how this week has gone. And so we've spent months prepping for this and engaging with a lot of different stakeholders. We've consulted with our partners at Christiana Care. They have been great partners with us. We have clinics with Christiana Care and our partners at Nemours, and obviously working with the governor's office and the elected officials and looking at the mandates that they have implemented as well. So following the guidelines, looking at CDC guidelines, to really help formulate a good, sound plan for our students.
Well, Jose, you sound pretty darn busy. You guys sound pretty darn busy.
It has been.
Yeah, and
A
you
busy's
said
good.
you're in your third year.
I am.
So is elections coming up for school board members?
Yes.
Okay, when
yes.
is that coming?
So we have, our next school board election will be in May.
Of next year.
Of 2022, which is
wow.
right around the
Right, I can't
corner.
believe
Yeah,
that.
I know,
Oh my
I
God.
know.
So how are you feeling about that?
So I'm excited. Based on the last election turnout, we had incredible turnout. We had the most turnout that we've seen in recent history, and so I'm looking forward to continuing the work that we're doing throughout the community.
And you, as a school board member, now how many school board members are there in Red Clay?
So Red Clay has 7.
7.
Yes.
And you being one of 7, you represent a specific area, and it's my understanding you represent the Ellesmere area.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
So where does that stretch for our viewers to understand?
Yeah,
So for those that, but also even before you even answer that, it's my understanding you as long as you live in the Red Clay School District, you
That
can
is
vote
correct.
for any school board member.
That
right?
is correct.
Okay.
So the way these nominating districts work is that I am from one slice of the pie, 7 pieces of the pie.
Okay.
So from my slice of the pie, and that's to ensure that everyone from all, members from the city and the suburbs are all represented on our board. And so I represent, or I'm from, I should say, the Ellesmere area, but I represent the entire district as a whole.
Gotcha.
And that goes for all of our school board members.
Well, you guys are busy, and I appreciate all your work. I love every time I come
Thank
to
you,
the
Jordan.
actual school board members. You hold back no punches, because I'm going to tell you to the viewers now, you can take it as an endorsement all you want. I like this guy. Like, you really do. No, seriously,
Thank
you really
you.
make sure you're addressing the actual issues, and you're there representing, and I can't thank you enough for all that
Thank
you're doing.
you.
So thank you, and we'll make sure. And how can, real quick before we go,
Sure.
how can we let parents get information? Is there a website that they can visit? Is there...
Absolutely. Yeah. So please visit our website. Please follow our Facebook pages, our social media accounts and pages. There's a lot of great material and information that we've been sending out to our parents and making sure that we continue to communicate.
All right. Well, I can't thank you enough, Jose. I really
Thank you,
appreciate
Jordan. It was a pleasure.
We'll be right back. All right, we're back. That was fun listening to Jose Mathews.
I know.
This man, he's been active on Red Clay School Board for quite some time now. He's going on his 3rd year now.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so I think he's one of 2 Hispanics on the school
awesome.
board, so he's definitely there to represent. He represents the Ellesmere area, so I'm excited to see him. Every time I'm at a school board meeting, he has no problem with holding back a punch to address an issue when it comes to our children in schools. So kudos to you, Jose, and thanks for being on. Did you guys hear about the Jewish Family Services of Delaware? They're organizing to help with the arrival of Afghan refugees.
Yes.
Did you guys hear about that?
I
We
did.
have a lot of Afghani refugees who are fleeing here to Delaware.
Yep.
I think it's pretty admirable that
Yeah.
JFS is going to go ahead and help facilitate their getting settled here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Dover's been a big hub for a lot of arrivals and a lot of things that have been happening.
Right.
So yeah.
And I thought it was commendable for them to go ahead and meet with our federal delegation. And so far, up to 40,000 evacuees have reached the U.S. 13% are U.S. citizens, and 8 are lawful permanent residents. So that's pretty darn good. Because with everything that's going on, we just knew we had to pull out.
Yeah, I mean,
making these tough decisions. I know I hated seeing the footage of that plane with everyone on it.
Yeah.
I know everyone else was struggling with it. So it's sad, but I'm glad to see that there's other organizations, and our former governor, Jack Markell, was appointed by President Biden to help with that, lead that charge. So it's gonna be good.
Yeah, and in the spirit of donations, we were talking about donations earlier for those who were affected by Hurricane Ida. JFS, they are accepting donations for the Afghani, all of the Afghani refugees. So if you are looking to donate, please go to jfsdelaware.org. Again, that's jfsdelaware.org to make any donations that you graciously would like to give.
Yeah, we're in the spirit of giving, so might as well.
Listen, there's a lot
There's a lot going on.
There's a
We can
lot
touch a
going
lot
on.
of issues.
Yeah.
Speaking of a lot going on, also Officer Edwin Ramirez issued phantom tickets to motorists without making a traffic stop. What is a phantom ticket?
Well, first off, remember that day I got that ticket outside?
Yes,
even though
I remember
paid the
this.
meter? To me, that was like a phantom ticket. How? Can
I
you
know
give
the
me a
struggle.
ticket in front of the studio?
Houseway.
I got a ticket in front of the studio, and my meter was paid. I got the receipt.
And
Sorry.
there was no
That got
one
me a
for,
little
and
worked up.
if I remember, you had no physical person to turn it into. You had to put it in a box.
I went to the city building and attempted to rectify it, and so I had my paperwork. I printed out my receipts and all of that, and they made me put it in an envelope, call a phone number, and put it in a drop box.
So-
I haven't heard back yet. By the way, that was 2 months ago.
The petty in me when it comes to these tickets.
Yes.
The petty in me. I saw this on TikTok. This is how petty I am. I said I might do this because I got a lot of tickets and this is bad.
Oh
This
my.
dude paid for his tickets with pennies.
I have seen
I
that.
said, you know what?
You know what? I have seen that, and I think that
Keep
I remember,
messing with my
yeah.
car.
Oh my
Keep
gosh.
messing with my car.
Do you like put them in a sock and put them in an envelope and mail them?
No, dude, he gave him the benefit of just even putting them in the
Rolls?
in the roll. I wouldn't have done that.
No.
I would have had it in a tub of that gallon of water
would've poured
and
it
just
on the
poured
desk.
it there. Count it.
There
Go be
you
great.
go.
But he issued over 30 of these tickets in
Yes.
April alone, and then used unsuspecting drivers to pad his performance reviews.
But I'm trying to wrap my mind around the how.
Is this how we judge?
That's crazy. He's a 6-year veteran too, so I'm like, why? Why? Why do you feel the need to do this?
Well, kudos to our Attorney General, Kathy Jennings.
Yes.
She urges drivers to contact the state police if they believe that they may have been misused with a bogus warning. So big shout out to Kathy Jennings.
How in the world did he get named 2020's top cop? Like, and that's not the official title of the award. It was the
Make it make sense.
2020 Troop 9 Traffic Ace.
Yeah.
Make
that
it
he
make
was
sense.
awarded
Traffic
Make
ace.
it make sense.
from these phantom tickets.
Make
oh
it
my
make
gosh.
sense.
I can't.
I can't. But
I'm
I got
trying to figure out how. I'm stuck on the how part of all
earlier
of
this
this.
summer, I think we did, one of our topics that we discussed was that there are no longer quotas here. So I think
That's
that's a
good to
great
know.
thing. Maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe they were investigating Officer Ramirez, and maybe that helped to do away with the
Maybe.
quotas.
And I will give us just a slight bit of credit here because when you go to Philly or
Oh,
Jersey,
Yeah,
them tickets are a little high.
They are high.
A
I look
lot
at
of
hours and I'm like, I ain't gonna complain. But I haven't paid it, but I'll get to that.
It's on your to-do list.
It's on my
your
to-do
checklist.
list. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I don't know.
It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting how this plays out. But
Yeah.
you
I was getting ready to say, you're getting ready to sit down with some
Ashley
really,
Christopher.
yeah.
Yes. I'm so looking forward to this conversation. So we're going to sit down and talk about HBCU Week. She is the founder and CEO
Yes, she is.
of HBCU Week Foundation. I'm super excited to have this conversation. So
Can you believe that? That's crazy.
I'm excited. I'm excited to hear this.
We're back in like homecoming.
Yeah.
Wow, this is gonna be fun.
I know, super fun. And I went to HBCU.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course.
But let's go ahead and have this conversation with Ashley.
Government doesn't make a move without an agenda, some type of plan. The problem is we haven't been on the agenda. Sometimes we're overlooked. Sometimes our interests aren't the interest of those in power. I'm your host, Kerwin Gaines, on DETV's new show, The Agenda. We're going to do our best to ensure that you, Delawareans, are knowledgeable about what's going on in the Assembly. Federal government, local government, it doesn't matter. We're going to do our best to ensure that folks that make the agenda on a daily basis have to answer for it. Let them explain what they're doing. If it affects you, it's on the agenda.
All right, I have the pleasure of sitting with founder and CEO of the HBCU Week Foundation, Ashley Christopher. Hey, Ashley, how are you?
Good morning. Good to see you.
Yes, good morning. Listen, I am really excited because you're doing something amazing. So you run the foundation for HBCU Week, and you have a week-long of events coming up, don't you?
Yes.
I think it's really great. How did you get this started, though? I'm really curious.
So HBCU Week was founded back in 2017 under the administration of Mayor Mike Przicki. He tasked me with coming up with some ideas that were focused solely on Wilmington's most underserved communities.
Okay.
So I wanted to do something with education, and I saw that he had hired a lot of HBCU alum on the staff.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay.
the chief of staff, Tanny Washington, she's a graduate of Norfolk State. An array of department directors are also HBCU alum.
Wow.
So myself being a double HBCU alum,
Where did you attend?
I went to Howard University. I graduated
Okay.
in 2007.
Awesome.
And then I went back to school for law school, and I went to the University of DC, which is also an HBCU.
Ooh,
Yeah.
look at you, double HBCU alum. I like it. Okay. So I
Yeah.
was up the street from you at Coppin State.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
indeed. So I think this is really exciting, and I had no idea. So I left Delaware, came back, and one of the first events that I got to attend was Battle of the Bands. I had no idea it was a part of this larger idea to celebrate HBCUs. How did you come up with the concept to do a week-long worth of events to celebrate HBCUs?
So when I was at Howard, I was vice chair of the Howard Homecoming Steering Committee.
Epic.
Yeah, so it gave me like a really clear backdrop on large scale event planning. If
Okay.
you've ever been to Howard Homecoming, like
Definitely.
literally hundreds of thousands of people
Yes.
every year.
Everyone flocks
Yeah,
there.
to
Definitely.
Howard's campus. So being vice chair, that really gave me the backdrop I needed for a large scale event process. Originally, it was just something I discussed with the mayor to engage maybe 200 Wilmington area students with 5 HBCU admissions counselors,
Okay.
because I wanted people to understand the benefits of attending an HBCU.
Oh, so this isn't
Yeah.
really about just celebrating, but it sounds like you made this about enrollment and
Yes.
bringing more awareness so that more kids can attend.
Absolutely.
I like that. That's
Absolutely.
very responsible.
Yes, I mean, well, when we started to market it, we planned for 200 kids, but we
Okay.
started to push the marketing, and that 200 spiked to 700 in year one.
Oh
So we
my.
knew in 2017 there was a large interest in learning more about HBCUs.
That's
So we
nice.
do have a lot of entertainment packed during the week, but the cornerstone of the event is the college fair to get kids into school and get them scholarship dollars.
I think that's really dope. Now, I do have a question about those who are currently enrolled in HBCUs. Do you have anything to support, opportunities within whatever their career path is, or any kind of enrichment for those who are currently enrolled during this?
Well, you know, right now our laser focus is on high school seniors and getting them into school. And it's not just a transactional relationship where we say, hey, here's the HBCU admissions counselor, good luck in school, see you later. It's a year-round service. So
That's nice.
it's not only enrollment, but it's internship opportunities, scholarship opportunities,
Wow.
year-round programming, and hopefully the goal is post-graduation job placement. So
I
we
love
follow
this.
these kids from their senior year in high
Yeah.
school through the HBCU experience.
This is really awesome. I know, so back when I was in high school, I won't say when, but when I was in high school,
Not
the
too
city of
long ago.
Wilmington, they had a program where they would take inner city kids onto college tours, and they were all like HBCUs, and that's how I actually learned about the school I went to. So I think it's really awesome that you're focusing on enrollment specifically for HBCUs, and you're doing like a guidance where you're not just saying, hey, let me tell you about this and take this lollipop and go, but to actually stay with them and guide them. I think that's awesome. So tell me about the events that you have going on. It starts September 26th through October 3rd, right?
Yes.
What do we have going on?
Oh my gosh,
I'm excited.
so many cool events. So we're going to kick off the 26th with a day party at DECO.
Love a good day party.
Yeah, so that's always fun. And then we're going to do a 5K the next day at Brandywine Park.
Okay.
Health and wellness is very important in our community, so we want to reinforce that. So we'll do a 5K on Monday. Tuesday, we're going to round up about 300 8th graders from the city of Wilmington and take them down to Delaware State for a college tour.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
and
an
Delaware State
exciting
has so many
part,
big
yeah.
things going on right now.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
I'm really excited for Delaware's only HBCU. Yeah. Okay, what else do you have popping off?
Wednesday, we have an R&B concert with Wale and Queen Naja.
Oh,
Yeah, and we'll
I'm
kick
gonna
that.
get to see Wale.
I know, I'm so excited about that. I've never seen Wale in concert,
I
so
have, but
I'm
it was
so
a while
excited.
ago when he first started his career. So
Yeah,
that'd be cool. I like his
yeah.
music. All right, what else do you have going on?
And we have a happy hour before that at DECO. So you go from the happy hour to the concert.
All right.
Thursday, we're having a panel discussion focused on the HBCU experience. So we'll have Dr. Tony Allen, Monet Davis will be here. She's a Hampton
right.
student.
Yeah.
And it's going to be hosted by Jamila Mustafa, who is a Delaware State alum.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is really nice. So, what hot ticket sponsors and maybe celebs do you have coming other than the ones you've already mentioned?
Yeah, so Friday, very cool event. We're having a comedy show. It's going to be hosted by Wanda Sykes.
The Wanda Sykes.
The Wanda Sykes.
coming to Delaware.
Yes, coming to Delaware to support HBCU
Big
Week.
things. I love
yeah.
it. Okay.
It'll be at the Queen, so that's a hot ticket event for
Nice.
sure. Saturday is our Battle of the Bands. It sells out every year.
Can't miss that. Oh my gosh.
Every
the
year.
energy is so much fun. Okay.
Yeah, and we have North Carolina Central, Delaware State, and Winston-Salem so far. Looking for one more college, so be on the lookout for another announcement for that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And then on, let's see, that was Saturday. Sunday, big block party. In front of DECO, we're going to shut the streets down like they do for Jazz Fest. We'll have local vendors, music, food, just fellowship, fun to give that authentic HBCU
yes.
tailgate experience.
I love it. Yes.
Yeah.
That'll be so exciting. So, for those who want more information or maybe want to attend any of the week-long events you have going on, how can they get involved? What can they do? How can they get tickets?
Sure. So for tickets to any of our events, please visit hbcuweek.org. Tickets are going at a rapid rate. So please get there as soon as you can to reserve your spot.
Yes, definitely sellout events. Listen, I'm super excited that you have this going on. I love that you're focusing on increasing enrollment at HBCUs. I feel like for a bit there, they were kind of dying off. So to give special attention to it, that's so major. I think that's awesome. And the representation was big for me. Thank you. I really appreciate your time. And I look forward to seeing you. Okay?
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to
Alrighty.
it.
We're going to go back over to the couch and we'll be right back.
So sitting down with me now, which I'm really excited about, is local comedian Ty Jamison. Hi, Ty.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
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 So I gotta say, I come from a performing arts background,
Yes.
and I have such a high respect for stand-up comedians because it is not easy.
It's terrifying.
It
but,
is.
But it's fun.
It is fun. Like
Yes.
I started off in acting. That's what I started off doing, and I went to acting school in New York. And my friends and I we loved going down to like the Laugh Factory and all that stuff in the city. And I literally went for stand-up one night. It was like the amateur night, and they set me up, and I did not realize how difficult it was. So much respect and kudos to you guys. It's hard, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen, I applied acting too. I respect
Yeah.
actors. That's a wonderful thing to have, and your memory and your emotion is wonderful. And then, you know, just being a person, you could apply acting all the time.
Oh,
because,
absolutely. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because I remember just looking for license and insurance, and I didn't even have it, but I acted like I couldn't find it. For
Like the fake
the
it till you make
officer,
it.
yeah, officer was there for like 10 minutes. He was like, "Sir, you don't have it, do you?" I was like, "Wait a minute, man, that's somewhere."
Yeah, I got it. It's here. It's here. It's here. No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, like, you know, one of the things about comedy that I love is, you know, when you are a viewer, you don't realize the complexity of it all. I mean, everything that goes into it. There's different styles of comedy, you know?
Yes,
like
several.
Every comedian has their own style, things that they bring to the table. And, you know, it's funny for me, too, one of those things, when you go into being an entertainer, I feel like that's the one thing that every parent dreads is hearing their child say, I want to do.
They're like, "You're going to be poor."
Yeah.
That's the first thing that comes to a parent's mind.
Yep,
where,
exactly.
you
So I
know.
got to ask you, like, what was it that made you decide this is what you wanted to do?
I don't know. I always was pretty much Joker guy. And then, you know, I had a job when I was younger where, you know, I walked around a hospital. I was like an orderly at a hospital. And I used to just joke with the staff and the doctors and stuff, all the way up the scale. And they were like, "Man, you need to take that to the stage, man." And then like some years later, I finally did it. I was like, you know, I'm gonna give it a shot. So, you know, I really started it here. They had the comedy cabaret here a long time ago at a place called the Greenery.
I remember that.
That was in the Jefferson building, I think it was called, but it was right over here, like 10th Street somewhere. And yeah, that's where I really first stuck my feet in the water. It was over there. And then there was a place called Smokey's downtown that's where I made a Philly connection.
Okay.
Because the guys from Philly were doing a comedy night there. It used to be a barbecue joint a long time ago. And I knew a guy, Ray Gordon, who's really a grinder. He's on tour with a lot of different comedians, and he's the one who told me, "Hey, come on up Philly, man, with that."
Yeah.
And I mean, but they teach you. They say, "Look, get a 5, like you know the back of your hand. Get your first 5 minutes, like you know the back of your hand." And that's what basically you do, and then you get that timing and all of that. But it takes, you know, a few years to get right.
Yeah. And I mean, I got to ask this too. I mean, COVID and the lockdown and everything, I think really hit the entertainment industry really, really hard, especially like every performer that's out there.
Yes.
So I know for me, you know, there were people that found the silver lining during that lockdown time and really channeled their creativity during that time.
Yes.
What was it like for you?
The creative part, you're right. Sat down and write, but you know, the COVID, the whole quarantine thing provided like tons of material.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you know, first of all, day drinking was a thing that was really.
Yep, it was an effective way to get through. Yep.
That was a great addition to the time off. You know, oh well, don't come in. Oh, okay, yes, hit me. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, getting creative, and I'll tell you this much: the show-wise. Doing show, because when the thing happened, I had maybe several gigs, like probably 14 on the calendar that just got canceled. Bam.
Yep.
And but then as we got halfway through the summer 2020, the people were starving to get outside.
Yep.
So it got really creative because they made outdoor gigs.
Yeah.
So a lot of times in the summer, it usually would take a little lull.
A little bit of a hit.
Yeah, on a normal comedy calendar, but you know, that year set up really this year because the restaurants in different places used their parking lots and things to put on shows. And it was great. We really appreciated it.
Oh,
so
that's fantastic. So I mean, so you worked your way through it, which is really great. Now I know you recently just did a comedy series at the Grand, right? Was it like last month, back in August, right?
Yes. Well, and no, at the Queen Theater.
At the Queen, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, the Queen Theater. Yeah, we were doing comedy at the Queen. It was pretty good. It was a good run. Yeah. We kind of chilled out right now, but we're going to bring it back around because, you know, September is a little tricky. But it's going to be cycling back up, and that was fun. Bought a lot of diverse acts, and we busted it up there in that, what's it called, the Knights Bar.
Okay, yeah.
So we had fun. The Queen was very cooperative and fun people to work with.
That's awesome. And I know you just had a show on Friday.
Yes.
Right? Which is cool.
Dynamite.
So I got to ask you, what's next? Before I let you go, what do you got coming up?
Oh, I got a bunch of stuff coming up. I'll be in Conshohocken. I'll be in about 2 weeks, and I'll be here in Delaware, a place called The Venue 2.0.
Okay.
That'll be September 15th. Then I'll be at the Punchline at the end of the month.
All right.
So I'm staying busy. And then I got a bunch of little private gigs. I love the private gigs. They save you. You know what I mean?
Awesome.
That's what helps.
Great time with Ty here. He's actually going to give us a little bit of taste of what you can see if you check out his next show. He's going to do a 5-minute set for us. So hang tight. We'll be right back.
Government doesn't make a move without an agenda, some type of plan. The problem is we haven't been on the agenda. Sometimes we're overlooked. Sometimes our interests aren't the interest of those in power. I'm your host, Kerwin Gaines, on DETV's new show, The Agenda. We're going to do our best to ensure that you, Delawareans, are knowledgeable about what's going on in the Assembly. Federal government, local government, it doesn't matter. We're going to do our best to ensure that folks that make the agenda on a daily basis have to answer for it. Let them explain what they're doing. If it affects you, it's on the agenda.
Folks doing? Everybody good? I'm good. You're good. We're all good. I just want to say I'm happy everybody is sort of making it out of this quarantine COVID situation. I appreciate the survival, but I'm gonna tell you something. I learned something. We walked. I got a COVID puppy. Anybody do COVID puppies? Yes, we got a COVID puppy, and we named him Coda Bear. You like that, right? Coda Bear is a nice name. That's cute. That's a puppy name. I don't like people to name dogs regular names like Vincent. That makes me want to fight, okay? Something's wrong with you if you name your dog Meredith. That's the girl at the job you don't like. Who names a dog Meredith? That's strange. Like Keith, who would do that? That's strange. Let me say something. Black folks, we don't do that. We don't name a dog Rashawn. Who names a dog Rashawn? Nobody does that. Rashawn, come on. Nobody. Who does that? Nobody does that. But we will name a dog something dangerous, and I'm quite embarrassed about it because we'll have a little dog, and I'll be like, "What's your dog's name?" And they'll say AR-15. Okay, why is a little wiener dog named AR-15? That's strange to me, and I don't want to come in your house. If your dog's name is Grenade, that's dangerous, you know, and I love animals. And I used to walk to this park where the people had wonderful dogs. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but I walk like a couple miles to an area called Rockford Park where everybody's rich and they all have rich dog show dogs and they all have great names. But I saw a guy out there with a parrot, which was kind of strange, but I get it because people said that was an ESA, an emotional support animal. And I was like, oh, so a parrot. And I guess anybody can get an emotional support animal because if it was me, I would get something like a falcon or something like that. Wouldn't that be great? Just have a falcon and just go in the bar and just be like, hey, let me get 2 shots of Absolute and just have a falcon. Have him hand the money off. That would be awesome. You know what I mean? Could you get on a plane with a tarantula and just be like, hey, this is my emotional support animal? That would be awesome. But I think it's the strangest thing. That's why I'm happy that the airlines cut that out. You know what I mean? They cut that out because I was on the plane, lady had a ferret and that looked like just a cute rat. And it made me very uncomfortable. So I'm good with pets though. I love all kinds of pets. So I just like the girls with the little bag. It was a girl, I used to live in the hood and the girl had the little bag and it was like a $2,000 Dooney and Burke bag with a little dog in it. And it was awesome. Only problem is she was catching the bus. So I didn't get that math, it didn't go together. I could have got her a 2002 Nissan Sentra with that money. That's all I'm saying. But we have to use a lot of common sense. And I walked the dog got us exercise because we all need exercise because I'm here to tell you that I used to be a really big guy, so exercise was, you know, a thing. You know what I mean? The Stairmaster, you ever get on that? The Stairmaster, that thing will kill you, all right? I said it for 20 minutes. I'm super motivated. I'm climbing. And the worst thing about it was like 2 minutes went by. That's all it was. So I was like, this thing is torture. This thing is not right. So I'm into getting in shape. That's a good thing. And I knew I was fat when all my scented candles were things like lemon pie and cinnamon bun. I had a hamburger candle. I don't know where I found that. That was just interesting. And I think one of my friends gave it to me, you know what I mean? So I realized I was a big guy when I complimented the gravy. I was at Thanksgiving, I was just like, who made the gravy? The gravy is amazing. And that's when I realized, hey, I gotta do something, I'm just saying. These things pop up, you know what I mean? But I tell you what, I've been having fun with life, just doing different stuff. I stopped driving fast. I didn't stop driving fast. They just took my license for a minute, that's all. But I got it back, folks, I got it back. So, these are lessons that you learn, you know what I mean? These are things that you learn over time. I enjoy the kids. The kids are great. Only thing, kids are very expensive with anything these days. My son, he thought he was going to get $20 for a tooth. That's what he thought, $20 for a tooth. That's what he thought. 21 prices. I don't know what that is because I know that personally the tooth fairy's broke. I know that for a fact. And $20 for a tooth, we should take them all out and pay the electric bill. That's all I'm saying. It would be, that would be some good math. But the kids are crazy. I just wish we could go back to the movies because I had fun going to the movies. Even though the movies got expensive, I had a lot of fun going to the movies because I didn't really buy anything except popcorn. Other than that, I took Popeyes into the movies. That's what we used to do. I remember I had a whole box of Popeyes wrapped up like a baby. The lady was like, man, your son smelled good. I was just like, well, it's extra crispy. He's extra crispy. But, I'm just putting some things in your head that you could, enjoy and have fun with. And I'm Ty Jamison, and I love you guys. See me, look on, Mr. Break Comedy on IG. Go to Ty Break Jamison on Facebook. We'll be best friends. Thank you, guys.
Welcome back, everybody. Special thanks again to Ty Jamison. What a fun interview that was. I love it.
But
yeah.
You get all the base, didn't you?
I do.
You do.
I
You
don't know
really
what's
do.
happening,
You
but I
do.
like it.
And then you, my dear, you got to sit down with Miss Ashley Christopher.
Yes, that was super exciting. I loved hearing the background on how she got this started, some of the names that are going to be participants within the week, some of the events. I'm excited. Listen, September 26th, October 3rd, I'm there.
That's Battle of the Band?
Battle of the Bands.
Oof.
We got day parties.
Have you been?
No, but I want to go so bad.
You will have so much fun.
I know.
I remember when I went last year, they had it at, or not last year because that was COVID. So I think it was like the year or two before, they had it at Frawley Stadium. Blake was the MC. I ain't never seen.
He did such a great job.
Yeah, Blake's an awesome guy. But the audience was just, we were swag surfing. We were doing
ready.
everything. It was,
Let's go.
I was just like, why
Can we
didn't I
go
to
tomorrow?
HBCU?
I want to go tomorrow.
I was like, I'm
In a couple
regretting not
weeks.
going to HBCU. It
Well,
was that much
listen,
fun.
I went to an HBCU, but my HBCU did not have a marching band.
What?
Yes. And that was like one of the caveats as to why I wanted to go. Because, back then, what were the movies that were coming out?
Drumline and stuff like that.
Right.
And,
Yeah.
Stomp the Yard.
Stomp the
Stomp the
Yard.
Yard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would watch that and just be like, I need to go to an HBCU. I'll make this happen. Well, I am enjoying myself, but I want to make sure that we stress that please remember to donate because there's a lot going on from these floods that we've been dealing with. Be sure to visit 1-800-RED Cross and or text IDA at 90999 and make a donation of $10 or more because a lot of folks are struggling in my home area all throughout Wilmington, and it's needed. So I want to make sure we
and
stress that.
DETV, we are accepting dry donations. So clothes, blankets,
Diapers for kids,
things of that sort. We are accepting dry donations. So while you're enjoying your Labor Day, please keep in mind that others are in need and, be generous, be kind, be responsible, and show up for your community.
Yeah.
Well, I always enjoy my Mondays with you, ladies.
I know,
but you gonna bring some stuff. I'm gonna bring my deviled eggs.
Yeah.
And we going to this one's
I'm
house.
gonna catch on a little bit.
You have a
I'm gonna bring the potato salad minus.
I'm gonna bring the Viking burgers and barbecue.
Minus the grapes.
No grapes and raisins.
No
Don't
grapes
put that
or
in there.
raisins.
No.
That's what I'm gonna do.
That's a
Well,
no.
big shout out to Big Ive and the crew at DETV. Enjoy your Monday.